Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's having a great day. Raj, Mike, how are you gentlemen doing today? Tearing some supports off parts. Oh, this is no bueno. Well, maybe it's gonna be okay. Maybe okay. Yeah, it's going. Haven't streamed in a few days. I got a stream yesterday, and my buddy Captain was streaming, and then later on in the afternoon, who was streaming in the afternoon? Somebody else was streaming in the afternoon. I can't remember. I tried the iron supports on this part. It's probably not the greatest idea, but I was really hoping that things would turn out on it. Well, whether they do or not is to be determined here. It's Horus 3D Mods, how's it going, man? Welcome to the channel. I don't think I've seen your name before, sir. Glad to have you. JPP, what's up? So we've got some stuff to do on the Trident here. But first, JPP, you were talking about these iron supports in Orca, so I decided to give them a try. They're a little bit harder to remove, but they do seem to give a better finish. Waiting on FedEx. What do you got showing up today, JPP? Oh. What kind of printer did she get? Now, Cody, how many of these are actually Melissa printers, and how many of them are Cody printers that we're calling Melissa's printers so that Cody doesn't get in trouble for getting another printer? All right, I'll try that. This print just wasn't the kind of print that you do organic supports on, you know? They're not too hateful. They're not too hateful. 1 second. This is he. All right, I do apologize about that. Havoc, how's it going? That was the school calling about some stuff. So yeah, what'd you miss? Not much. I was pulling off some supports, just waiting on folks to, saunter on in. I need like a really thin chisel. Anywho, so, what are we going to be doing on stream? We are going to start another upgrade to the Voron Trident. And we'll come over here and take a look at what we got. So here's our box O stuff. You started to convert your Mercury to a V2. Should have just bought an SV08. I don't know about that. So we've got from Fabrico Chamois XR bunker, we have the NeoPixel hub. The hat is for my buddy Chamois. Chamois, if you see this, the hat's for you, bud. It's a little tight. It's a little small. My head's gotten bigger in a few last, wow, 7 years. I bought this hat 7 years ago. Then we've got new rapid burner faceplate to fit the CHC XL hot end. So this is a ceramic heater version of the Goliath, basically. So all the flows. And then we've got Captain, how's it going? And we've got EBB 36 Gen 2, the new controller board, toolhead controller board from my friend and yours over at Big Tree Tech. So lots of stuff there. Hopefully this solves our issues that we're having with connection stuff with the toolhead board. This will get my RGBs back up and going. Yeah, did yours not come with cables? So it came with the toolhead board itself. Lots of stuff packed in on that. Came with a bunch of connectors, a couple heat sets, an extra fuse, some standoffs, some zip ties, a tiny little heat set. What are we putting the tiny little one on? USB controller, maybe? Then we've got breakout board that's going to go down into the electronics compartment. And then gotta see if there's we gotta get on the GitHub and see if there's some STLs and stuff for this. Then we've got the Big Tree Tech sticker that doesn't actually stick to anything. Death Cube, how's it going? What? Just a toolhead board and ends? I'm going to assume that you ordered them from AliExpress on their initial offering thing. Did you order it directly from Big Tree Tech? And of course, Ducky. This one came from Fabrico. So then we got USB cable. We've got some heavy gauge wire for our 24 volt. from your power supply over to the breakout board. Did you not get the breakout board either? Did you not get this? Captain, send me a picture of send me a picture of the end of your box. Does it say EBB 36 Gen 2 or does it say EBB 36 1.2? It sounds like you got 1.2 boards, because toolhead board won't work without this breakout board at all. Sounds like you might just have the regular 1.2 can boards. So that, my friends, is what this round of upgrades is consisting of on the Trident. All right, let me go look. Send me some pictures of the actual boards when you get a chance. Okay, yeah, so I'm looking, it says one piece EBB 36 can version 1.2 and EBB 42 can version 1.2. You didn't get the new ones, you ordered the old ones. I didn't go look at the launch special thing, so I'm not sure if they had the old versions listed on there too or not. Good news is they're still fantastic boards. But yeah, they do have a really horrible tendency to not have their listings particularly clear. I just got some switches in that are not the right ones. Steven! How's it going? So the hat is because part of this upgrade is the NeoPixel hub from Chamois. So I got out my cowboy hat for Chamois. Yeah, so they do that. They'll have a listing for something, but they'll also, it's not just that part. You gotta go in, select the sub thing, and yeah, it's very much a crappy thing, and it leaves a bad taste in people's mouths when they end up with the wrong thing. I think the reason why they do it is because, like, they'll list, let's say you're listing this hot end, right? On that listing will also be a silicone sock that costs $1.94. But when you search and you see CHCXL and then you see price $194, people think that this is $1.94. It gets them to click on their links. It gets them to click on the stuff, and then, you know, once they're there, they're more apt to buy it, even after they figure out it's the wrong price. But the problem is, then you end up having people buy the wrong thing and being pissed because they thought they were getting one thing, and then they feel like they got rug pulled. Brad, how's it going? Nick, what's up? Yeah, I saw you showing them off on your stream, but honestly, I hadn't seen any of them to be able to know what was supposed to come with them or anything like that. So, yeah. I couldn't really be like, hey, Lester, how's it going, man? Yeah, so if what you have works, there's really no good reason to switch unless you like need it to do something else instead. Like if you got CAN and you need USB pass-through on your tool head for beacon or cartographer or something. I mean, if you got CAN, just order cartographer for CAN, and then you just run it through your tool head. All right, I need to figure out something to get down in there. Maybe a screwdriver to do it. Maybe. Very few machines are hitting chamber temps above 60. All right, there's that one. All right. There's one of our two pieces. Yeah, for next Saturday. Yeah. I am stoked. Who's next? Yeah, next Saturday. Yeah, next Saturday is big celebration stream for making YouTube partner. We're going to be building an Ender 3 NG start to finish. Some awesome giveaways. It's going to be a long stream, but we're going to have some guests on. We're going to do some fun stuff. All right. We get this piece's supports taken out, and then we're going to get started on this Trident situation over here. So I'm getting tired of some issues on the box turtle, and I think I'm just going to go in and make my own modifications and changes and upgrades to the box turtle for the issues I see and whatnot. Hopefully all the issues I have will be fixed with their new revision of the box turtle, but I do not know. But I want to change the extruder gears that it takes, and I want to change the wheels on the respooler to keep the filament from riding off one side or the other. I would say yes. You gonna buy yet another one? How do you guys find these killer deals on printers? Not that I have $400 to shell out for a printer, but how do you guys find these killer deals all the time? I get on Facebook Marketplace, and all I see is people wanting $400 for their Ender 3. Yeah. You know, maybe I ought to expand my search so that I get like down to Columbus or something. Bet you I'd have better luck that way. Because unless Lester decides he wants to sell his Trident, his 2.4 for $400, I don't think I'm going to find many other people in the area that would show up in my Facebook market feed. All right, not perfect, but that's a lot better. So this is the front for, it's the hand grip for the Stagecoach blaster. Depending on how things go, we might do that as a stream in Discord this evening, because if not, Wednesdays are kind of taken up by Lee Marie 3D streaming and sometimes Steve builds, and then Down Under Maker and stuff. That's not happening. Damn it. Tipsy, go ahead and send me a link in Discord to them, because I have not seen those. I got something in my eye. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Chicago would do it. Yeah, you do live in a gold mine. Didn't you just buy a 2.4 with a box turtle included for $400? Ugh. All right, so I need to give some serious consideration to what we're doing and how we're doing it. I really want to get multicolor on the 2.4 and multicolor on maybe the NG too. I kind of like to get another box turtle, and then I got this 8-lane ERCF. Do one with another box turtle and one with ERCF. Yeah. I know you got another box turtle kit just sitting in the box. It's cold as shit here, Captain. All right. Get all these supports cleaned up. And then get into moving this Trident over here and start off with stuffs and things for that. I need a new trash bag in my trash can. Hey, slow builds are all right sometimes, but it sounds like a fun build. I've not So the monolith seems like something that should be machined. And there's no place to just order that stuff from. So it is what it is. Ugh. Oh, you want an all-wheel drive kit? Nice, Captain. What are you going to put it on? Is it given to Mike? Oh, Jesus. Captain, do you have a Voron? Nice. I like the capital yet on that. Looking forward to the Captain builds a new ship stream. That'll look good in your new workshop. Holy cow, man. It's like I got something floating around in my eye. I think it is. I think it's a good title. You're free to use it. All right. Clean out the poop out of the bottom of the Trident. But yeah, so the couple issues that I have with the box turtle are particularly on softer filaments, it likes to strip the filament. It like doesn't want to pull it back through and unload it, or it doesn't have enough surface area to grab to push it all the way through to the tool head on some abrasive stuff. So I'd like to switch that over to the HGX gear sets. So I'm gonna have to design all new extruders for it. And then, like I said, the wheels, I think if I take and just do a sketch and a negative extrude into the bottom of the trays a little bit, and then just make the circles on those wheels a little bigger on the outside edges so that filament can't go up and over, that would solve the spools walking off the edge of the rollers. And yeah, that's, I would really like to, I'm going to talk to them, see about getting a hub CNC machined, or no, not CNC, metal 3D printed. See if I can get metal 3D printed hub for the box turtle from PCBWay, because I've worn out hubs where the filament goes through and it just wears them out. All right. Like it didn't unload this filament. It just stripped it out, couldn't pull it back. I just replaced the PTFE tube. Yeah, man, I'm super excited. If you're getting a Voron, man, I'm super excited. Yeah, I've heard good things about that monolith. Wait a minute. Yep. Nope. All right, I don't know if you can see this, but this is what it does. Just grinds into the filament because it's got such a small little area that's actually grabbing it by. With those BMG extruder gears. All right. Turn off our poly dryer, power, shut down. Move this stuff out of the way. Power cord. Put our door on there. Now let's unplug the Ethernet cable. Move all this stuff out of the way. Pop away, how's it going? Yeah. Trident's getting some work done to it again. I didn't say shit. I said ship. S-H-I-P. A captain needs his ship. All right. All right. Take the door back off. Kegel, how's it going? All right. Is this zoomed all the way out? It is zoomed all the way out. All right then. We'll just move the camera, I suppose. All right. Get the panels off of this. Oh, anywhere would have been fine. Dan, how's it going? Jeb, mini bike. We are going to rebuild a tool head. New hot end. The new Big Tree Tech tool head board. And Chamois LED WLED board. You know what I didn't do? I didn't take the Z-axis up. So let's plug this back in and move that Z-axis up. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to get this bottom panel out. Yeah, it might be. Let's see, what does mode do? Oh. You guys want to watch this in black and white? Listen, we'll take this to black and white. It'll match the hat. It'll be like you're watching an old spaghetti western. Try to see. So this is option. So the first one after black and white is going to be option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, black and white. TGO, what's up, man? Number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Good deal. If you're happy, I'm happy. All right. Move, home, home all. Oh, I made serial plates for all of the printers. Broke out Fusion. And just some slicer mods for some other ones. Walking taco. Is it taco day at school? I used to love taco day at school. The meat was always a weird texture for tacos, but it wasn't bad. But anyway, so yeah. Also, the switch wire got its serial number. So the new switch wire is VS984. Almost to 1,000 switch wire serials. My other switch wires, switch wire 206. And then we've got VT1436. I really wanted to get a serial under 1,000, but it took me over a year to put everything together to build this. That's probably the reason why the terrible texture, Brad. Golly, how's it going? So listen, while we shut this down, we're going to take a quick trip over to the billing department and remind everybody that if you would like to support the channel, consider becoming a member. We finally became YouTube partners, so there's the option for channel memberships to help support the channel, become part of the garage crew. There's also links in the description to leave tips directly, should you so choose. On the Super Chats Polymaker affiliate link. I don't get anything from any of the other links. Polymaker's the only one I've got an affiliate code for, but there is a 5% discount at Pulsar 3D with code PIDG at checkout. So go check out Pulsar 3D. If you would like to get a cartographer, half the price of a beacon, by the way, and I've had no issues with them. I know that some people have concerns, but I've had no issues. You can pick up a cartographer from them. I'm pretty sure they are the only domestic source for them, actually. Yeah, I can post up the serial plates. I've got them all loaded in a 3MF file. So you just load up the 3MF file and change the modifier to whatever your number is. The standard Voron serial plates are like panel clips. But I use different panel clips. I don't want those on there as panel clips, and they're not a great option for everything. For the Micron, for your 1515 based extrusion printers, they are clips that clip into the 1515 extrusion just don't seem to work. So I made them so that you just use a roll-in T-nut, put it in there, and then screw those plates on. Yeah, you can definitely put it on the clicky door. Clicky clacky door, you definitely do that. Or colony clacker door, whatever they're calling these things now. All right. Let's unplug this again. Get these fans pulled out of here. Also, if anybody's interested, last night I updated on GitHub all of the Orca Slicer profiles for filament, process, printer profiles, all that fun shenanigans. If you would like to steal my print profiles, please feel free to. Let me know how they work for you. All right. Link to my GitHub should be in the description. Now, I will explain a bit about how I do my profiles. Okay? It does not matter what size nozzle you are running. You use the same print profile, the print process profile. It is based purely on a percentage of your nozzle width as defined in your printer profile. So in your printer profile under extruder, you tell it what size nozzle you have, and then the slicer does all the math for you to make your line width the correct width. So you can switch nozzles in your printer. It doesn't care. You can use the same print profile on your printer that has a 0.2 nozzle and your printer that has a 1 millimeter nozzle. It doesn't care. It does all the math and takes care of it for you. That's number one. So there's no different profiles for different size nozzles. The profile is built to automatically adjust for it. Filament profiles. You will not find different profiles for a whole bunch of different things. You will find a few specific profiles for like Ambrosia's, Dolos ASAs. You will find specific profiles for PPA, PPS, and then the different material types. But you will not find like, oh, here's the profile for Sunlu's PLA. Here's the profile for Polymaker's PLA. Here's the You're not going to find that. It doesn't exist. I make the machines all match one another, and by and large, most filaments are pretty much the same. And I use the same filament profile across all the printers. I don't change extrusion multipliers and crap like that. I adjust the rotation distance and make sure everything is dead nuts on when I build a printer so that it all works exactly the same. The printers are mechanically tuned to match so that the filament profiles all just work regardless of what machine I'm using. So it takes a little bit more effort on the printer tuning side to get your printers all tuned up the same, but then makes all the rest of your work for the rest of eternity, printing stuff, so much easier. You don't have and set up all your printers as a Voron printer. You're going to want to set them up as a Voron printer. My Prusa Orca Slicer thinks is a Voron. My Century Carbon Orca Slicer thinks is a Voron. The Creality CR10 Orca Slicer thinks is a Voron. So that all the profiles, because they all work over the same brand, but don't cross brands. I don't know why. You have the option to make filament profiles work across all your different machines, but not process profiles. I don't know why. I think it's stupid. All right. Yeah, sweep all that out. Of course, you're free to tune and adjust it from where it's at for your own printer. Now, they changed it so you can use filament profiles. You can go into the last page on dependencies for filament profiles. Yeah, shared filament, but not shared process profiles. All right. Let's loosen these screws up in the back and get this back panel off. Oh yes, that's right. This squeezes the back panel. All right. Get our panel out of here. New Polymaker Panchroma refills. Let's go take a look at these. I'm curious. If I could save a few bucks on Polymaker Panchroma filament, that'd be awesome. Look at this. All right, so us.polymaker.com. They are running a Black Friday sale. Again, Polymaker affiliate link in the description, up to 45% off. All right. Polymaker announcements. PLA refills. Reusable master spool. Yikes, that's expensive. How are you going to be sold out of those to begin with? Yeah, it looks like it's not all the colors. But some of them. Aren't the mechanics different? Mechanics on what? Captain, I understand it can get frustrating. Like I said, the good news is that the EBB 36 1.2s are fantastic tool heads. I run them and have run them for years in a lot of printers. And I know the feeling of getting stuck where it feels like nothing is getting done. And if there's anything I can do to help, just reach out and I'll help in any way I can, man. Time to get something to eat? All right. I do something to eat myself. What all is plugged into this? One, two, three, four camera. I want to run one more test on this before I go completely down this path of changing this tool headboard. We're going to change out the extruder, and then I'm going to test something. If I remove this powered hub and just plug everything. into this directly into the Pi without the hub, because I haven't tried it with the Pi 5. And we'll just tuck this up in here for right this second. Yeah, I want to try that. We're going to rebuild this tool head though. Let's come back over here. The mechanics between nozzles, kinematics, etc. So, yeah, your kinematics are going to be different, but it's not going to have any effect. So, I set, if you go into machine and you go into extruder and you do the math on what your nozzle can physically extrude. So, your max flow rate, you do the math, you know, for, okay, at this many millimeters a second, extrusion gives me this many millimeters cubed volumetric flow, and set the limit for your machine for what it can physically extrude. Then, even if your filament profile says, hey, the max on this is 36 millimeters cubed, but then your machine is set up to only have a maximum extruder velocity that's going to give you 12 millimeters volumetric flow, it's going to use that. So that's how you get around the volumetric flow things for different printers. Obviously, if you've got a filament that requires, like TPU, a max flow rate of, say, 4, and you set max volumetric flow, it's going to use that because it's lower. If your printer limits, say, this printer can only, in your machine profile says this printer can only do 5,000 accels and 200 millimeters a second on X, then even if your process profile say to print at 10,000, it's going to use the slower one. It's not going to, it'll never exceed the lowest limit in anything. So if the volumetric flow limit's lower in the filament process, it'll use that lowest value. It's always going to use the lowest value. And then again, in your printer config, you also set your machine limits accurately to reality, so that even if the slicer tells your printer to move at 100,000 millimeters a second acceleration and 1,000 millimeters a second in speed, the printer config isn't going to let the machine go that fast. So it takes extra time on the front end to make sure everything is configured properly in your machine profile and slicer and your printer config. But then on the back end, when it comes to tuning print profiles and filament profiles, it makes it way easier, and it makes it so that all your machines can share the same ones. Yeah, so I was talking to Pizek, and they asked me, and I thought that I had that plugged directly into the Pi. They asked me if I had it plugged into a hub. So it just made me wonder if maybe that'll fix the issue instead of running it through the hub. As I said, I haven't tried everything plugged into the Pi 5 since I switched it. When we immediately went to the, what's it called? So I want to try that. Want to try it, see what it does. Damn, that hurts. Yeah. Because I want to give it a fair shot, right? I don't want to say something is broken and it's actually my fault. That makes sense. I've got it in the box. We can obviously do it at some point if we need to. But it's a lot of work to swap it out, one. And two, if we don't need to, I would rather not. But we are going to put in the big bad extruder. Not extruder, big bad, fuck, what's it called? Hot end. So, in theory, this should perform very similar to the full-size tube and Goliath hot ends as far as max volumetric flow goes. Now, what it is going to do to some tuning stuff, obviously I'm going to have to change some stuff in the box turtle config for retraction stuff, and the like. You're going to need a whole lot more purging. All right. There's our filament cutter. Captain, I went and looked at that voice thing that reads me chat, and for the life of me, I have no idea why it would need access to my Google Drive account. You tell me why that needs access to my Google Drive account. A pigtail to mini USB off the... Can you power it that way? We're going to look into that, Brad. Because, yeah, if I can power the screen... Yeah. All right. There's the screw. Is that screw? Is there a pin on here to... All right. We need to go look at Big Tree Tech's GitHub. All right. Oh. So BTT pi 5 TFT 50. No, I want the GitHub. Is there a micro USB on the back of this? Yeah, we were just looking at that, Martin. Okay, I'm not seeing a micro USB on here. But I do see this port. If I find out if one of these pins is 5 volt, we just plug into that. Label what those are. Oh, it takes 3.3 volt. No, this is not. Yeah, nothing seems to show me. Oh, you've got an HDMI 5. So you're using the HDMI 5. I've got on this one a Pi TFT 50. So just a little different. It uses just one ribbon cable. All right. Go over here. Now that USB on the HDMI 5, I do believe transmits your touch data back to your Pi. I could be wrong, but that was my understanding. Ooh, that's loose as fuck. Or did this get bent? No, that's not loose. That is broken. So we need to reprint that. All right. Let's go over here. New product. And we're not printing this out of TPU. All right, let's get this printing. I don't think HDMI is just one way. That's like how ARC works on your TVs and stuff. It sends data back the other way on HDMI. But I'm not positive. All right. Print this. Upload and print. Okay. We got that going. This is the part I'm really curious about. I think it's the same, but I'm not 100% positive whether or not this is actually going to fit on the CNC mount. If it doesn't fit, that kind of puts a whole kibosh onto this situation. There's that. I like that new Vitali design for this that David had when he was doing his the other day, where the belt mounts are a separate piece. We need a different tripod. Y'all hang out down there for a second. I'm gonna get a different tripod. What do we got? Where are we? Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Glad you like the hat. I've not heard of JO filament. All right. All right, there you go. Now you got a view of what we're talking about. So the issue is the hot end mounts to here, and then the faceplate needs to mount to it and to these mounts down here. And I don't know whether this is going to work. So we're about to find that out right now. So if this is screwed onto there, does that line up? So we're just going to do this real quick and dirty before I go any further down this rabbit hole. Yep. It lines up. What a business, boss. All right. Let me see if I can't. Is that view still okay? Is that still satisfactory to everybody? That way I can still get to my heat set iron. I need to get black and white PLA. I've burned through a lot of PLA building blasters. I never had a very big collection of PLA, so. Again, Polymaker link in the description if you're going to go grab some of those refills. The affiliate link. I think it pays like 4% at the tier that I'm at, if memory serves correctly. So 4% of whatever you buy gets kicked back to me if you use my affiliate link. Doesn't cost you 4% more, still costs you the same price. Oh good, my antacid medicine has showed up. I've been out of it for 4 days, and it's not been pretty. Mike, I'm going to help you out with that as soon as I get back to work, bud. I promise. LTX, how's it going? I hear that you did manage to get that Leviathan flash, sir. I had to find out from other sources because you never gave me an update. Okay, did you get a pelletizer? Or are you going to go with the Goodwill Black & Decker pelletizer? Just grind stuff up. Or are you going to make like something that goes around and chops up filament, feeds it through and chops it? I'm just curious. All right. Oh, Lord, these ducks were in rough shape. Look. This goes to the Hodgins, so this can get unplugged. All right, nice, nice. LTX, once I get some stuff sorted, I'm going to reach out to you. I'd like to get a back panel made for this Trident. Okay, there's one thing out of our way. Okay. Now we need to unplug the RGBs. Okay. There we go. Now we got faceplate out of here. Okay. Get this disassembled. Oh yeah, no worries, man. I'm not in a rush at all. As long as I have them by the next Rep Rap Fest I attend, we are good to go. I've got some that I need to ship out to some folks, but it's got to wait till I have funds available to ship them. Ooh, this is nasty. Nasty. Look at that crap. Look at that. Mac, how's it going? So is the whatchamacallit up and running now? The Leviathan up and running? Nice. Happy to hear it, man. Well, I hope this fits. Second, Trying to figure out how this diffuser goes in here. Get out of there. All right. Fuck you, I'm cutting you out. That's what we're doing. Just gonna break this part until you fall out. You're gonna be like the big bad wolf over here. Huff. Puff. I'm gonna break your fucking print. Okay. Good deal. There we go. So you gotta glue, super glue these in here. Okay. Some progress. Hands don't work like they used to. All right. And now I need to shorten these a wire by quite a bit. All right. This is the rapid burner tool head. We are putting a Triangle Labs CHCXL hot end. It's a ceramic heater version of the Goliath, essentially. All right, I need to take a break. My hands hurt. What you guys got going on? Anyone got any fun projects to speak of? Also, I think I want to change out this PTFE tube to 3mm or 2.5mm inner diameter. Let's go, Reaper. Orbital is nice, man. I never used the original one. I've got the O2S one, the newer version on the 2.4 with the arch type Blackbird tool head. Man, that thing is nice. Put your hat with a heating pad. Also, I got a little something in. Right? Find where I put it. I put it in here. Maybe. No. Thank you, Watch, for just, you know, telling everybody my address. I appreciate you, Siri. That's great. Fucking Watch just gives out your address. That's always nice. So, this I picked up from Pulsar 3D. It's a filament cutter. It's a crossbow. Just mounts simply between your extruder and your tool head. If you're using Sherpa or Orbiter, and then you just put something on your printer over on the thing, and it pulls back and cuts, goes forward and moves over. I didn't know that either. So we've got a filament cutter that'll work with arch type right now. So as soon as I get something sorted out to be able to add multicolor to the 2.4, we're going to be adding multicolor to it. Because I got the filament cutter figured out. It was a pain in the butt to find one of those, but Pulsar 3D had them in stock. Again, 5% code Pulsar 3D PIDG at checkout. A spacer, yeah. I think I'll be all right with arch type. It's already got a spacer plate on there. All right. So, ifs. I put these in here. My Z offset was fucking shit when I printed these gray parts. Jesus. Look at that. Look at that. Fucking crap. Way too far from the bed. No, the wire needs to come out the other side. All right, so wires need to be right about that length. This thing is absolute dog shit. I need to reprint that. What flavor's in there right now? This is Juice Head Peach Pear. Wait a minute. Is there magnets in this? I didn't even pay attention to how. Mango strawberry? That sounds good. Oh yeah, it does work with magnets. Look at that. Catabar peach. Ooh. Yeah, I really like peaches. I vape one that's a white peach. I vape one that's a dragon fruit one. I've got a couple different ones that I'll cycle through. All right, let's soldering station fired up. And get this soldered. And get this old solder off of here. There we go. Just using some solder wick to clean off the solder pads. Get some new solder put on there. Get these wires tinned. There we go. Cherry bomb. Okay. So that goes in there. Thank you for the tip, anonymous. 20 bucks. You guys are amazing. Love you. Appreciate you. These parts are printed like dog shit. We're going to reprint both of them. We're going to reprint all that. Let's prepare. Just add another build plate. And then we need to go to Dragon Burner stuff. V0, Rapid Burner, STLs, V0.2, Goliath. No, we don't want the dummy one. We want Rainbow Barf. And we want Neo. So no, not right. Okay, so that, then one. NeoPixel holder, that's what we want. All right. As soon as that's done, we'll get that printed. That's almost there. While we wait for that, we'll start getting this stuff together. So here's our hot end. We want it mounted about like that. We got screws in here somewhere? Yes, we do. Well, you guys are on the wrong screen. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dun, 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 dun. Shit. How's everybody's week going so far? Another thing I forgot to do that we might have to turn this back on to get taken care of is getting my Undertaker nozzle out of this thing. Yep. We are going to have to do that to get the nozzle out of this. Now this has an extendamabob for an even longer melt zone. So screws into the end, then your nozzle screws into it to get you more power. Let's move that out of the way. Will these screws slide back in there? Or am I gonna have to unmount that hot end just to get the screws in? Nope, gonna have to take the hot end out just to get the screws in. Order of operations, I suppose. All right, back out we go. Oh, Jesus. You gotta recertify. You burnt your... How bad did you burn your butt? I read that you said that earlier, and it didn't even register in my head. Yikes. Gotta hit up the first aid cabinet at work today and get some burn gel out of there, I guess. Gotta lower the bed down. Also, like I said, gotta heat up this nozzle to get it out of this hot end. Guess you'll be standing up at work today, Mike. All right, I'm gonna switch out hats and run to the restroom. Stand by. And we're back. It's giving me a headache, Martin. It's a little bit small. I bought it in 2020, and I've gained 12 pounds since I've been, actually, no, that's a lie. I've gained 18 pounds since I've been off of work in July. And even when I bought it, it was a bit tight. So it's squeezing the hell out of my head. All right, so we need to hook this back up so I can heat it up. Starting to feel cluttered over here. All right, turn that on. Uh-oh. My screen's not working. Well, I guess that's a problem we're going to have to figure out. All right. Heat the extruder up to 220. Oh, I see what the problem is. Yeah, the ribbon cable's loose going into the pie. All right, we might need to take this up to 260. There we go. Power shut down. Yeah, the ribbon cable's loose. There we go. All right, put our sock back on there. And we'll put our nozzle into our new hot end. The new hotness hot end. This whole thing's going to need to be heated up and tightened in place, but right this second, that'll do. So, let's screwdriver back out. So my 6-year-old really liked the K-pop Demon Hunter songs. Had me playing them all the time in the car for her. We need to depin these Molex connectors. Netflix no longer offers a free trial. I was like, I'll just sign up for a 1-month free trial or 1 week or whatever it is, so that the little one can, you know, watch K-pop Demon Hunters. Nope. I had to pay $8 because by that time I had already told her that she could watch it. And it's important that one keeps his word to their children. Oh, here's another cool thing, okay? This was a gift. I don't think the person who gifted it to me is going to have a problem, but we'll say this came from a viewer. They can say who it is in chat if they would like. But look at this. It is like every single depinning tool for about every single connector you could ever want, and also gave me their favorite depinning tool, a custom made one. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, it was Mike. Mike gifted these to me. Yeah. So This handle is really cool too. I love it. All right, so some Molex connectors to go back into the collection. Man, I tell you, it's stuff like that that I love because it'll carry a story forever. Like, I'll be telling my grandkids one day about them and where they came from and the story behind it. Yeah. All right. I love you. Drive careful. Yeah, I'd be like, guy, he had hair that matches that 3D printer over there. Gifted it to me. All right. So, cut off these connectors. There we go. Yeah. But anyway, back to the K-pop Demon Hunters that I've been watching so much of lately. She sat out here in this garage with me that night and watched K-pop Demon Hunters twice. Pulled a little chair over for her right here and got her a little blanket and a table with some popcorn, and she hung out here with me for like, I don't know, 5-6 hours watching movies. So I count that as $8 well spent. So if you're wondering why there wasn't a stream on Sunday night, it's because I was busy watching K-pop Demon Hunters. At $8 to entertain your extremely rambunctious 6-year-old, get to spend quality time with her. I'd pay that every day and twice on Sunday. All right. So this and where are we at? Oh, yes. Pinning the what is going on? Yeah, exactly, man. I'll tell you what, it's if you think back about the time with your parents, you're not going to remember that Batman action figure they bought you that you were throwing a fit about in the store. You're going to remember the time they spent with you. So I try to make sure I take the time, Yesterday took my entire evening to dye my daughter's hair in some crazy fashion. So there's kind of things that they're gonna remember and tell their kids, and teaches them how to raise their own kids. When it comes time for them to raise them. I hate these wires with this braiding cotton stuff on the outside. So you gotta trim it all back. All right, there we go. Yeah, Captain, I'm sorry about that, man. I cannot imagine. Enderon. Oh, dude, that looks sick. Captain, that looks awesome. Uh, Nick, are you still in chat? I've never put on the dragons and stuff like that. I've never used the boron paste on those. I use it only on the ceramic heaters and the PT1000 beads that sit in a hole. If it makes firm contact, like the metal tube thermistors that slide in there and then clamp down on it, I don't put paste on those. Damn, Brad. Fuck. That is my biggest fear in life, is losing a child. It was the worst thing ever when I had my second. Because if I just had one, I could check out. But two, you don't have that option because you got another one you got to live for. Brad, that's awesome. Your mom coaches a soccer team even though she didn't like sports. Yeah, the things you do for your kids, man. So, I did not, spoiler alert for the end of this story, I did not lose my son. But he was 8 weeks old and started, it's called third spacing. It's when all the liquid part of your blood just goes out of your blood vessels. It just leaks out of your blood vessels. We're at home and his lips turned blue. We took him to the ER. He was pooping out so much blood that you could take his diaper and pour the blood out and fill up a coffee mug. They had a team fly from Children's Hospital in Philadelphia via helicopter, but it was the weather was too bad. They couldn't land at the hospital. So they landed at the local little municipal airport, which was, I don't know, 5-minute drive, 8-minute drive from the hospital. And took them by ambulance to the helicopter, then took them by helicopter to Philly, which is normally a 45-minute drive. It's about 50 to Children's Hospital from where the hospital was. We managed to beat the helicopter to Children's. They rushed him into exploratory surgery and told us to say goodbye to him, that he wasn't going to make it. And then we spent 16 days there. They never did figure out what caused it, why, and told us, we don't know. It could happen again. They managed to save him. He was in the intensive care unit in Children's for 16 days. So, although I did not lose a child, I know what it is like to have to say goodbye to one. It was the craziest feeling, sitting in that surgery waiting room with nobody else there in the middle of the night. So I have a small taste of what that is like. Just a small taste. And with that, I cannot even begin to imagine what you guys, the pain you guys deal with every day. Yeah. It is most definitely not the natural order of things. All right. That sucks, man. I feel for anybody that loses a kid. All right, let's strip some wires back on this heater. And find where I set those. Okay. So, get to play with my other toy. RJ, how's it going, man? That Mike donated. Set of ferrule crimpers. Just little quality of life tools like that, man. Make things so much easier. All right. Snip that off. There we go. Oh, we gotta lower this bed down some. Get my hands extremely greasy. I'll pick up that roll of filament in a while. Greasy, greasy. Mm. 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 Close this up. Captain, if you want to throw a link to that that project you're going to do, that 2.4 project, up in chat, feel free. Yeah, so they're slowly rolling it out. RJ, thank you very much for the tip. Much appreciated. So for those that don't know, I think we've gone over it, but the money from tips and everything that you guys left before, it's been applied with some money from memberships to fund the tube compact that I pre-ordered, and hopefully will be here in time for the NG stream. I still haven't got a shipping notification on it. All right, this is the Enderon. Create one Voron 2.4 200 millimeter from 2 Ender 3s. Captain, you have got to do this. This is sick. It's like a slightly bigger micron, but without having to deal with 1515 extrusions. Yeah, if I had 2 Ender 3s, I would do that. That's sick. I haven't seen anybody else do them. As far as like content creators or something, that's an awesome project, dude. That would definitely be good content, man. And it's got that search engine optimization of Voron, Ender, Clipper. That would do extremely well. Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly the do Ender is. It sounds like it's a 2 tool head printer thing. If I had 2 Enders, this is where I would go. I don't think it's going to be an incredibly easy project to accomplish. I don't know how clean everything is. But yeah, definitely definitely look forward to watching you build that one, man. Okay. Yeah, I just say be prepared. Like, those projects sometimes are a little rough around the edges. All right. But yeah, I'm super stoked to see that, man. Take this cartographer mount off. So we can get that replaced. I need heat set. Heat set. One, two. Captain, you know, we oh no. How, yeah, if you're looking at projects and stuff like that, and you want to go through beforehand and go, okay, is this anything? We're always here to help brainstorm stuff. You just throw it up in the Discord, and I'm sure there's lots of people that can chime in with ideas, things that might cause you problems, or maybe a better, cheaper way to do something, whatever it may be. I've not heard of that, RJ. Recertified to avoid back injuries. Excellent. The world is safe again. All right. I am not 100% certain that this is going to work with this extra extender on here. What the heck? Is there something blocking these threads or something? Why are you not going in there? What is going on? I get that every once in a while too. Their comment's not right. Put an SKR in there. Yikes. RJ, that sucks, dude. All right, now she's threading in there. That's what we got going on. Current state of things. I think there was a missed opportunity to make that silicone sock red and just call it the Red Rocket. Brad, you're done for the day in an hour? Nice. All right, now we got to give my hand a break. What we got to do. Let's see here. Well, this mount has changed some. I don't think that's the right mount. I think that might have been one we were messing around with. Uh, yeah, that's definitely not the right one. All right. That sucks. Printed the wrong one. There's one that I printed one that had been tinkering around with. Why won't you print that freaking wall? Minimum wall width 50. Clicks. Yeah, it does not want to print that. Anyway, all right, we'll send it off to print again. Sold the little race boat. I love the E3 V3 boards. Knock on wood, I've not had any issues with those. Richard, thank you. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Yes. So, you just got to use the Goliath mount. And I don't think we can use the extender on it. That would put that... Let's move this out of the way. So, if we use the that extender on there, I think it's going to be way too long. So we're going to have to take that off and not use the extra extender on that. Woo! 90 miles an hour on a boat is ripping. That is insane. All right, so this, we'll leave that screwed in for right this second so we don't lose the screws. But this needs to come off. All right, so without the extra extend a bit, all these parts are the Goliath parts from the Rapid Burner GitHub. That'll do for that. There you go. That's what it'll look like. Is that a wooden boat, sir? Are you doing 90 miles an hour in a wooden boat? It looks wooden in the picture. Looks like a wooden boat. I need a prettier fan, because holy fuck is that ugly. $5mm thick. Jesus. Well, sir, all I've got to say is, Lord help you, I wouldn't want to have to carry my balls around in a bowling ball bag, because it's got to take fucking balls that big to get in a 5mm thick boat in the middle of the ocean and go 90 miles an hour in it. Holy fuck. It's got to take like a solid 20 minutes in the shower to scrub down a set of balls that big. Okay, so where did the little diffuser go? There's the diffuser. Put our RGB in here. What the heck is going on here? Yeah, this is broken. Guess we're still not doing that. All right. These will snap in like so. The wire comes out like thus. This. All right. LED nozzle lights are installed. Just waiting for those two parts to print. All right. Next stream. All right, so we're coming up on the 4-hour mark. I still got parts that need to print. So next stream, we will finish getting this put back together. Get the tool head put back together. And Lord willing, that'll only take a few minutes. And then we'll get into the NeoPixel hub, designed by Blam from XR Bunker. Shout out again to Shammy for sending that over. Sent that over quite a while ago, so thank you, Shammy, for your patience to getting to it. I do apologize that it is taking this long. Yeah, please, please. I want to see some pictures. I want to see some videos. I want to see all of it. So I grew up in Jersey, right by the ocean, right? I spent a fair amount of time on some boats. I've almost found myself at the bottom of the ocean a couple of times. They also raced like the top fuel race boats and stuff like that. About, well, literally 30-second walk from where my son currently lives. But like 2 minutes up the road from where I grew up, they would race top fuel boats like twice a year. And yeah, so I love boat stuff. I wish I could have one. So anyway, come back tomorrow. We're going to finish up the tool head and move on to the NeoPixel hub from Shammy. We're going to give this a try with this H36, with everything plugged directly into the Pi rather than a hub, and we'll see where that gets us. I thought that the tool head board was plugged right into the Pi, so that was my error, and that could have been causing the problem, feeding both Beacon and H36 into a hub. Yeah, man. I love racing. I grew up every weekend we were at a race, pretty much, of some sort. You know, the NHRA Nationals, Mopar Parts Nationals, just Friday night at the drag strips, dirt racing. Then I got into RC car stuff once I was an adult and had adult money. By the time I quit that, I had over $30,000 in RC stuff. I still have some in bins up there. If anybody ever comes to visit and hanging out in the garage, have a look around. There's some Easter eggs in here. Yeah, it's good to be doing some content that people might be interested in. Nobody seemed really interested in Spool Man. Can't really blame them. Now, here's the other thing. Tonight on Discord, we're going to be streaming on Discord, putting together the Stagecoach. Out of Dart sent that over, the hardware kit over. All the printed parts are done. We're going to be putting that together. That is a double barrel break action silly shell Nerf blaster shotgun. Not those kind of Easter eggs pop away. So stop in, check that out tonight on Discord. Or put that together. If you can't make it, that's okay. The video will be uploaded, but chat's a lot different on Discord because we actually just sit there and conversate. You talk with me, I talk with you. There's no reading chat, all that good stuff. You can text in the chat if you so choose, but we absolutely just talk back and forth. So it's a lot of fun. Anybody that's actually come and joined those hangouts will tell you that it's a good time. Also, this week, pretty sure it's going to be Friday night. We're going to be doing a members only thing. It's going to be done on Discord. So for all the Patreon and YouTube and members, we're going to be doing something fun on Discord. It's going to be it's not 3D printed related at all. Yeah, the voice chat. It's going to be done in voice chat. So if you go into the Discord, there's a voice chat channel called The Garage. That's where we'll be doing it tonight. I'm going to say probably 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So for those in Australia, that's what? Like, you guys are like 12 hours ahead. So it'll be 8 a.m. your time. But it's a good time that people across the U.S. can make it. Unfortunately, it's a little bit of like 2 a.m. in Europe, you know, so my European friends can't make it. But again, Friday night is going to be the same time, 8 p.m. in the members only voice chat. We're going to be doing something fun. It's not going to be a 3D printed related thing. In fact, here, I'll show you what we're going to be doing. I've got several of these things. These are like, you gotta figure out who done it in murder things. They're a lot of fun, man. They really are. I'm going to go through, I'm going to scan everything. Have PDFs available for everything, and we're going to figure out who killed somebody. So if you want to hang out and do that, consider becoming a channel member. I've also got a model. I think we're going to do one of these. I've had it sitting up there forever. It's a Chevy Nova, a model of a Chevy Nova. I used to have a 71 Chevy Nova. So we're going to put together that model 1 month for a members only thing. The members only stuff, I'm trying to do stuff that if you're not a member, you don't feel like, oh, I missed something important. But also something fun to do. and very much community, like engaging with the community. I really like hanging out and chatting with everybody. If you're in Discord, you'll see a lot of times I'm just hanging out in chat, in voice chat in the Discord, normally every day for a couple hours, just talking to people. I like interacting with the community. I probably do it more than any other streamer. So if you want to hang out and chat with me, with other members, check out the Discord. Link in the description. Yeah. So mine was a 71 Chevy Nova. Had a 454 in it. Old Munson 4-speed rock crusher transmission. Blew apart quite a few rear ends. Did 10.9 something in the quarter mile. Just under 11 seconds. So I could call it a 10-second car. I love that car. I miss that car. It was the last thing I had of my father's. I'm starting to worry. So these things take little lithium batteries in them, and it's starting to swell the case right here. So as long as my vape doesn't explode into flames and kill me before then. A 69. Mine started with the, what, 304. And then when my dad purchased it in 75, I want to say, or 79, something like that. When I purchased it in 79. It had a 350 in it. When my dad went off to the Army, he let my uncle use it. My uncle took the 350 seized and he switched it out to a 327. And then the 327 went, and my dad put a 454 in it. Bought the 454 off of Bob Trout, Bridgeton Welding and Springs in Bridgeton, New Jersey. He'd built it for a guy's pro stock car, and the guy never picked it up, and my dad did. My dad paid for it, picked it up, and had it installed in the car. He had a Firebird. 79 Ford LTD. Nice. So, whatchamacallit? The goal is to convince my son. So, the plan for this channel was originally going to be some 3D printing stuff and a lot of car stuff. My son was originally going to move out here after he graduated high school, and I want to get a Falcon XB and do the Mad Max car. Black on black pursuit special, last of the V8 Interceptors. I wanted to find, I used to, so we used to have a bit of a thing where we would get, for a while we were getting cigar boats. A lot of them came with two big block 540 engines in these cigar boats, and people would wreck them or whatever, and we would pull the two 540 motors out of it and we would sell them. And sometimes those 540s were already supercharged. Woo. Yes, they were. And then we had a racket where, so the Suburbans used to come with Chevy 350 small block Chevys in them. And there was a big rat rod scene. So we had lines with all the junkyards where they would just call us when they got Suburban in or whatnot. And we would go and we would pull the 350s and all the electronics for the ignition and everything out of these Suburbans. And then junk the Suburban again and take the engine and resell it to the rat rod crews, you know. And so that was a bit of a racket for a little while. And then people wised up to it, and you know, it got harder and harder to do. I had a friend that was buying the CRVs with the K24 motors in them for a while, and yanking those out and selling them to the tuner guys for a while too. He was doing work to those too. But yeah. Used to have fun, used to get in a lot of trouble. Now I just sit in my garage and play with 3D printers and try not to get in trouble anymore. But I got a lot of good stories to tell. No good story ever started with telling someone no. Check the Discord. All right, let's take a look at this real quick. Where am I looking at? Oh, here we go. Took a minute to show up. All right, let's take a look at this. All right. Oh, she's a lot longer when you look at it that way. Yeah. Oh, dude. Some joy. Some toy? Is that what it's called? Some toy? Yeah. She looks mean. I love it. I love it. That is nice, man. $16 foot. All right, yeah. In your profile picture, it looked really short. Trying to send a video, but not working. All right, here we go. We got a video. Oh, we're gonna watch that again. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds real good. See, I never took pictures of stuff. I did not want incriminating evidence of any of it. Yeah, what are you running that on? Well, when you get a chance, just upload it to YouTube, and we'll do a reacts video to that. Because if that doesn't make you smile, are you even alive still? 98 octane. I don't know if I've ever run 98. Pump gas here goes up to 94. I've run 104. Run some. That's like aviation fuel. It's leaded. I've an LS1, nice. Guy at work has a Camaro, is running a methanol injection and shit like that. That thing sounds nice too. That thing is that sounds nice. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Brad. I've got a lot of stories, okay? Someday when the statute of limitations is up, I'll tell you about them. Some of them you'll have to read about after I die, I guess. Yeah, it sucks losing those memories, man. I did have a lot of pictures and stuff. I fortunately there's some I've got about 5 or 6 DVDs full of like pictures that I backed up to DVD and stuff like that. I need to go and grab them and upload them to my iCloud drive or something. But then when I was a kid, it's just photo albums at my mom's. I don't even know if they still exist. Anyway, I'm gonna jump off here. We're at like the 4-hour mark. Thank you everyone for tuning in and joining. Once again, from the building department, if you would like to support the things we do here, consider becoming a member. Thank you to everybody that donated today. It's very much appreciated. It goes a long way. Making these projects possible, making some of these cooler things that I could not do otherwise possible. And again, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to XR Bunker. Check them out. They sent over the NeoPixel hub for this that we're going to get to hopefully tomorrow. All right. Catch you all later. Again, Discord tonight.